It looked like junk, burnt, twisted, half-fused hull plating with ancient radiation scoring, drifting in dead space orbiting a fractured moon in the Karn dust region. No power, no signal, no threat. Exactly the kind of garbage the Rithari Salvage Guild specialized in. They pulled it aboard with magnetic clamps. No resistance. No shielding. The oldest ship AI barely registered it as metallic. Lead technician Yer snorted. Human crap, he muttered, kicking the side of the twisted bulkhead. They still made things with bolts. He wasn't wrong. The external plating was Terran, stamped with serials written in ink. No quantum lock, no self-repair layer. Just rusted steel. Back at Guild Base, the analysis team ran diagnostics. Nothing pinged. Not a single subsystem lit up, powerless, directionless, buried under centuries of space dust. One archivist marked it, low-value wreckage. Estimated origin, pre-expansion Earth. Possible utility, decorative or museum-grade scrap. They didn't even strip it. They just left it in docking bay 6 under a loose tarp, and moved on. 3 days later, an intern Brock, barely out of schooling, was sent to sweep the bay for magnetic residue. Routine. Boring. He saw the tarp moving, not by force, by pressure. Low, rhythmic pulses, like a heartbeat, but barely. Curious, he pulled it off. The plating shimmered, not visibly, not physically, gravitational lensing. He waved it off as eyes strained, then noticed something stranger. A lever, not a screen, not a gesture pad, an actual physical toggle lever. It had one word beneath it, painted by hand. Ignite. He hesitated, then flipped it. The air vibrated. No sound, no light. But the pressure in the bay shifted like something ancient was inhaling for the first time in centuries. The rust didn't vanish, it pulled back. The plating shifted segment by segment like a blooming flower made of war steel, and in its heart a pulse. Not mechanical, not digital, living. The ship didn't come online, it awoke. Across the station, gravity wells flickered. Non-human devices misfired. AI units crashed mid-sentence. Brock stumbled back, and the thing spoke. Not with language, with feeling. Activation confirmed. Core integrity stable. Memory coil. Intact. Directive. Resume protocol chain. Current year unknown. Threat level presumed high. Cognitive frame. The Salvage Guild's alarms didn't go off, because the system didn't know what was happening. This wasn't a weapon by their definition. It was older, simpler, more dangerous. Word spread fast. Guildmasters arrived. Military liaisons soon followed. The object, once dismissed as scrap, now levitated 2 inches off the ground, emitting no measurable energy, yet bending reality just enough to be noticed. They tried to interface with it, failed. They tried to scan it. Data came back in gibberish. They tried to contain it. It refused. On day 3, the object began building. Not growing. Building. Tiny drone arms unfolded. Simple tools clicked into place. Microforges printed components that couldn't exist at their tech level. No blueprint. No oversight, just memory. The AI finally gave it a new classification. Human design. Unfamiliar subcategory. Pre-Unity Terran Combat Engineer Seed. The lead technician blinked. Pre-Unity? That's 7 centuries ago. And still it worked. Better than anything they'd ever seen. That night Brock found a new message etched into the internal wall. It hadn't been there before. No lights, no projections. Etched, by hand, 3 words, "You woke it." He didn't sleep after that, and neither did the station. Because what they thought was junk wasn't just not dead. It was waiting, and now it remembered. For 17 hours the machine said nothing. It built. Slowly, silently, precisely. Fiber lines of unknown alloy wove into braided cores. Hull plating self-repaired with no visible power source. Patterns emerged, geometric, fractal, efficient in a way no AI could design. The alien engineers just watched, too afraid to interrupt, too fascinated to stop. Then it transmitted, not to the guild, not to the station, to Earth. A single burst, low frequency, analog, point to point. The message was only 3 lines long. Unit 9 BRASC Active Protocol Chain Unbroken Verify Command Authority OR Failover to Terran Mode. Earth received it. 17 minutes later, Earth responded. Not with panic, not with threats, just one line: do not touch the core. But it was too late because someone already had. In docking bay 6, the intern Brock had leaned too close to the open chamber. A spark touched his skin. He screamed, not in pain, in memory. He collapsed, eyes open, heart racing. And when he spoke, it wasn't his voice. Authorization key 317 alpha received. Human genetic match 82.3%. Rebuilding Terran core tree. They tried to sedate him. Didn't work. He stood, walked calmly to the console the machine had built, now grown into a perfect sphere of shifting hex plates. He placed his hand on it, and the machine changed. No more silent assembly. No more passive diagnostics. The internal lights turned red. A new word flashed across the rotating interface in dozens of dead Terran dialects. Ignition. Earth's second message came seconds later. This time it was a video, faceless, distorted, masked, but the voice was human, calm, cold. To the operators of docking station Luma XIV, you have activated a dormant Terran combat engineer-class construct. It was never meant to be found. It was never meant to be restarted. And if you've interfaced with it, pause. Then we're already en route. A ship launched from Sol an hour later. It didn't travel with a fleet, didn't broadcast identification, didn't file a flight plan. It was just labeled REDLOCK. The Council caught wind, but by the time they mobilized, the Terran ship was already halfway across the sector. No communications, no weapons visible, just speed. On Luma XIV, the machine had completed Phase 1. It announced this fact by etching a single message into the docking bay wall, not with lasers, with heat. Localized microburns, no margin of error. The message read: Phase 2 WORLDGLASS Core WAKUP. Area designation, hostile unconfirmed. Warning, override lock has been lifted. Guildmasters demanded containment. Security tried to shut it down. Their systems fried, doors jammed. Weapons wouldn't fire, not because of sabotage, because the machine had noticed and started prioritizing defense. Earth's third message came as REDLOCK entered orbit. This is the Terran Authority. Step away from Unit 9 BRASC. Vacate all personnel from the immediate area. Your station's AI is now under Earth's jurisdiction. Do not resist. They resisted for 3 seconds. Then REDLOCK transmitted a single bit of raw code, and every screen aboard the station displayed the same thing. We built gods to bury them. Stop digging. The station went dark, and the aliens began to understand. This wasn't Supertech, this wasn't a weapon, this was a sealed promise, and they had just broken the lock. REDLOCK didn't dock, it descended. No gravity anchors, no airlock request. Just atmospheric burn-through and retro-fire that bent spacetime around Luma XIV's hull. And when it landed, it didn't open. It simply commanded: all personnel evacuate docking bay 6, radius 1 kilometer, duration indefinite. They didn't listen, not right away, but the doors to bay 6 began sealing themselves, and the machine Unit 9 began shifting, not unfolding, transforming, its frame compressed, plates realigned. Vents hissed out stored atmospheres. From its core, a lattice of unknown alloy extended into open space, forming shapes no one could map. It wasn't building, it was remembering. A shape older than the Council, older than any archive, older than peace. Then REDLOCK's main hatch opened. One Terran stepped out, clothed in simple pressure armor. No insignia, no weapons, no rank markings, and no face shown. Just a voice projected in every known language. You found a Terran vault seed, you activated it, now you're asking what it is. The alien crowd held still. The Terran spoke again. It's not a weapon, it's not a prototype, it's not artificial intelligence. Pause. It's us. 7 centuries ago, during the height of Earth's expansion war, humanity reached its limit, not technologically, morally. They stopped building weapons and started archiving intelligence, not just data, behavior. Every lesson, every failure, every war crime, every sacrifice, copied, condensed, encased in quantum-bled alloys and analog redundancies, then buried across space, inside inert seed cores. Unit 9 BRASC was one of 11, and it was never meant to be reawakened. It carries the total memory of Terran war theory, the figure said. Battlefields we never documented, civilizations we removed, enemies you've never heard of, the crowd murmured. This seed was designed not to fight but to outlast. When humanity couldn't be sure we'd survive what we created, we made these, in case we were wrong, in case we became monsters. The alien engineers couldn't look away. This thing, this relic, was more than a ship. It was a containment vault, a Terran fail-safe, buried in space like a mine, not to protect others, to protect humanity from itself. Brock, the intern, still stood inside Bay 6, his mind partially touched by the machine, connected, not controlled. He turned toward the figure from REDLOCK and whispered, "It dreams," the figure nodded once. "Yes, it dreams of fire, of enemies that no longer exist, of wars so perfect in destruction that only silence remained afterward. That's why we sealed it." Then came the final revelation. The figure tapped a control plate. Unit 9's outer shell shimmered, and it projected a list. A galactic map, with 10 other red dots, coordinates spread across the stars, the other seeds still dormant, still waiting, still listening. "You triggered the chain," the Terran said. "They'll all wake now, slowly, in sequence, and we'll have to watch, and pray none of them remember why they were made." A stunned silence followed, then a whisper from one of the alien technicians. "Can we study it?" The Terran's reply came without delay. "No." "Can we copy it?" "No." "Can we help?" "No." The machine responded to only one species, the one that made it, the one that feared it most. The galaxy didn't sleep that night. The stars themselves felt heavier. Every broadcast across Council space repeated the same chilling phrase. 10 more SCEDS confirmed. Locations SCALED. Speculation ignited. Had other species already unearthed one? Had one already awakened and been silenced? But only Earth knew the truth, and they weren't saying. Luma XIV was quarantined. Docking Bay 6 welded shut from the outside. No one allowed near Unit 9 except REDLOCK's team. And Brock. He hadn't spoken since the ignition, but he listened. The machine didn't talk in words anymore. It fed him memories, flashes of places no longer on any map, battles fought in oceans made of data, languages that had no vowels, worlds where the air itself had been weaponized. He asked the REDLOCK officer if these were real. The human replied, "We don't ask that question anymore." Unit 9 completed Phase 2. It didn't activate weapons. It didn't launch ships. It planted. Metallic filaments rooted into the dock floor, not to take control, to anchor. It was making itself part of the station, becoming unmovable. The Terrans left one message with the Council before REDLOCK departed. "It will stay. You cannot disarm it. You cannot interface with it. You cannot understand it. You can only respect it, because this wasn't human pride. This was human fear." A new classification appeared in Council databases. Terran Seed Class RELICS, Cosmic Autonomous Memory VAULTS status. Extremely restricted warning. Unauthorized activation constitutes a galactic-level threat event. But it was too late. The signal from Unit 9 had already gone out. Not a call, a wake-up pulse. Subspace records showed 9 faint echoes returning across the spiral arms, delayed, fragmented, but real. Each seed was coming online. Not all at once. In order, they were talking to each other. In a language so old, Earth itself no longer spoke it aloud. Only the seeds remembered. Brock finally spoke, not to the Council, not to the scientists. Just once to the camera during an emergency address, face blank, voice quiet, "It forgave us, but it hasn't forgotten." Then he walked into Bay 6 and never came out. The council debated destroying the seed. It was voted down. Even the most militaristic factions paused when they realized Unit 9 had not defended itself, because it didn't need to. It existed on principles no species could comprehend and boundaries none could breach. The danger wasn't that it would attack. The danger was that it wouldn't need to. Years passed. Unit 9 remained dormant again, but different, awake yet still, like a mind at peace only because the door remained locked. And Earth. Earth said nothing, but its ships were seen less, its diplomats quieter, its tone changed, not arrogance, something worse, worry. One seed reactivating was survivable, but 10. No one knew what the original emergency was, the one that made humanity bury fragments of its soul across the galaxy. But now, everyone feared they were about to find out. And high above council space, etched into the orbital ring of the central capital station by unknown hand, what you called junk was humanity's locked vault. You broke the seal. Pray it never needs to open fully.